Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to make a clamp. Not exactly quite like this clamp, but a clamp that you can use on a swimming pool, an above ground pool that has tubing up around the top and down the sides. And you want to take and perhaps clamp a tarp over it. Personally, I was using a clamp like this, and these are the clamps I use to clamp wood together. And I kept having to run out to the pool and take a clamp off. So what I did is I made a clamp out of wood like this. If you look at this one here, this one has a hole in it, and I can unscrew it and open up so that I can fit a pipe right in here. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. I used some T-nuts. As you know, I really like working with these. And you can use a bolt. I happen to just use a 5/16 rod, and I just cut it with a couple of washers. And really, that's about it. But kind of show you what I did and how I did it. So here you can see I've pretty much marked off 11 of these clamps that I'm going to go ahead and cut. There you can see some deer in the background that I had cut earlier. Anyway, let's go ahead and cut them. So what I've done here is I've kind of set up a little jig so that it won't move to the left or back. Just use two of the clamps that I normally would have had out on the pool. And I use this existing one just to kind of get a ballpark feel of where this 3/8 bit is going to be for when I drill that hole out. So I'm going to go ahead and lower this fence or this table down. So that I can fit this in here. And it'll probably be at the same spot if I haven't moved it too bad. And as you can see, my table moved a little bit, so I'm just going to double check it, make sure that it's where I want it. Now, you notice that my drill press isn't going down all the way. I have it set to where it had a stop on it, but still it won't go down probably any further than that right there. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is drill it on one side, flip it over, and then drill it on the other. So let's go ahead and tighten this back up. Make sure I didn't go off. Looks pretty good. And then go ahead and drill and see what it looks like. I guess I could have used a taller fence to keep it from wobbling, and I could have probably clamped it down also, but for right now, let's just do it this way. See what we get. And it did kind of go through, but it didn't go through all the way. So I'm going to go ahead and do all these. And one thing I could really do is probably raise the table a little bit now that I've got it to where I know where it's going to be. Because see this distance right here? That way I'll be able to cut through it on both sides. So let me do it to where I can just barely get it out. And that looks like it. Let's see if that's any better. that felt a whole lot better. And that went all the way through. I don't know if you can see that right there, but that went all the way through. So let me clean this one up. Yeah, it's working out really well. Anyway, you get the picture. I'm not going to do all these right now, but I'll do this other hole, and then we'll split it down. So what I've done so far is I went ahead and adjusted my table so that I can cut this hole, and it's 1.5 inches, and your pipe diameter might be a little different, so you'll need to figure out what size bit you actually need. So that way I can cut it, and it'll kind of trim off a little bit of the end also, and then I can go ahead and cut again. So let me go ahead and do one and see how it comes out. If you do this slowly, it's probably better. See, because it'll jam up on you. These aren't the most expensive bits in the world. You could probably get better bits to do this. And as you can see, that's producing a lot of dust and shavings. It's probably best to use a respirator. But since I'm just doing this one, I just figured I'd go ahead and show you. And it's pulling a little bit on me. It might have been a good idea to use another clamp instead of holding it with my hand, just for safety's sake. My drill press isn't very strong though. But there's always a chance it'll rip it away from your hand. So let's see what that looks like. And again, it didn't go down all the way through. I can raise my my table. I can also go ahead at this point loosen up my bottom stop, which I had set, but apparently it wasn't enough. Let's see if I can go through it. No, I think I went the other way with it. I'm going to go ahead and just loosen it all the way up. And there it is. And it probably would have been a good idea to go ahead and clamp the piece down on this back fence too, possibly with one of these clamps here. So there's the clamp part. There's our hole. Now all I gotta do is split it down here, and I think we should be ready to go to put the T-nut in it and put the rod through there, or the bolt through there. Let's go on to the next part. So now I've cut the clamps in half. I got this little fence here so that they don't move left and right on me. Pretty standard stuff, but so that I can, move it up into the blade easily. So the next step then is to take and put the T-nut on it. And the T-nut just sits in there and you just hammer it in, or this one I think just pushed in. So then once that takes place, then it's time to take and put a bolt through it. Like I said, I cut some rod to go through there, put a washer on it and a nut, and that should go right in there like that. And tighten on the other side, and it is, and clamp down like so. So I'll show you on the pool how I got it to work. There's the existing clamps. As you can see, I have various different ones all over the place, or the perimeter, and including some of those, which those are probably probably the only thing they're good for. I don't know, I guess they're okay. But like right here, I want to take this cover and put this clamp on it and tighten it down. So that pretty much shows you what we're gonna do, what I'm doing with them anyway. Pretty tight. And that should keep it from coming out. Anyway, thank you for watching.